You know, sometimes we run so fast in this world, trying to keep up, trying to be seen, trying to belong. But we forget something so important, the power of being alone. See, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It doesn't mean you're weak. No, it means you found a place where you don't need anyone else's approval. When you stand alone, that's when you learn who you really are. When you're alone, that's where your real strength is built. Think about it, the world is full of distractions. Everybody's pulling you in different directions. But when you step away from the noise, when you stop to be alone with your own thoughts, that's when you get clarity. That's when you start to see things for what they are. That's when you realize who you want to be, not who the world says you should be. Solitude is where you find your purpose. It's where you look in the mirror and ask, what do I stand for? What do I want out of this life? Being alone forces you to trust yourself, to rely on your own strength. And that, my friends, is the key to independence. You can't always depend on others to hold you up. You've got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. And when you do, you'll realize you're stronger than you ever imagined. You see, creativity thrives in the quiet. Some of the greatest artists, writers, and thinkers, what did they do? They retreated into solitude. They found power in the silence. They let their minds wander. And that's where genius was born. Alone, they found their voice. But beyond all of that, being alone, it brings you peace. It grounds you. It allows you to reconnect with who you are. So many of us are running through life trying to keep up with everyone else. But when you're alone, you stop. You breathe. You find balance. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Being alone can be scary. There's fear in facing yourself. Fear in being with your own thoughts, your own doubts, your own weaknesses. But let me tell you something, when you face that fear, when you embrace it, that's where freedom is. That's where true strength comes in. Solitude connects you to something deeper. Call it God, call it the universe, call it whatever you believe in. But in those moments, when it's just you and your thoughts, you'll feel it. That connection, that guidance, it's there. And it's powerful. Being alone isn't about isolating yourself from the world. It's about giving yourself the space to recharge, to heal, to grow. It's about stepping back from the noise, finding your center, and then returning to the world stronger, clearer, and more powerful than ever. Solitude is often misunderstood. Many people equate being alone with being weak, or even worse, being lonely. But in reality, solitude is where true strength is built. When you are alone, you are stripped of the noise, the distractions, and the influences that come from the outside world. In that quiet, you are left with yourself, your thoughts, your fears, your dreams, and your deepest desires. And that is where real strength is born. Think about it. When you're constantly surrounded by people, opinions, and expectations, it can be hard to know what you truly want, what you truly stand for. You start to bend, to mold yourself to fit in with what others think you should be. But when you're alone, all of that fades away. You're left with just yourself. And that's where you find the courage to be authentic. It takes strength to be alone, because you have to face yourself. There's no one to hide behind, no one to shift the blame to, no one to seek validation from. It's just you. That kind of solitude pushes you to confront your fears, your insecurities, your weaknesses. It forces you to grow, to dig deep, and find the resilience that you may not have known was there. When you are alone, you also learn to rely on yourself. In those quiet moments, you discover that you have everything you need within you to handle whatever life throws your way. It's in solitude that you learn to trust your own instincts, to believe in your own abilities. And that kind of self-reliance is powerful. It gives you the confidence to face the world, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the strength within you to persevere. Solitude builds emotional strength too. When you're alone, you become more in tune with your emotions. You have the time and space to process what you're feeling, to understand why you're feeling it, and to work through those emotions in a healthy way. This emotional self-awareness allows you to approach life with a clear mind and a steady heart. In solitude, you also find mental strength. It's in the quiet moments that you gain clarity. When you step away from the hustle and bustle, you can reflect on your life, your choices, your path. You can think deeply about what you want and how you're going to get there. That kind of focused reflection leads to a mental toughness that allows you to face challenges with a sense of purpose and determination. Ultimately, solitude doesn't isolate you, it strengthens you. It gives you the space to grow, the freedom to be yourself, and the courage to face whatever comes next. It's in solitude that you become the strongest version of yourself, not because you're avoiding the world, but because you've taken the time to know yourself fully before stepping back into it. Reflection and clarity are two of the greatest gifts solitude can offer. When you're alone, you have the rare opportunity to slow down, disconnect from the constant demands of life, and truly reflect. In a world that's always rushing, filled with noise and distractions, we often don't take the time to step back and evaluate our own thoughts, choices, and actions. But when you're in solitude, that's exactly what happens. You create the space to reflect, and through that reflection, gain clarity. Reflection allows you to dig deep into your experiences, your motivations, and your desires. When you reflect, you're not just thinking about what happened, you're asking yourself why it happened, how you felt about it, and what you've learned from it. This process of reflection is powerful because it helps you understand yourself better. It forces you to face your thoughts and emotions head on rather than pushing them aside. In solitude, there's no rush, no need to react immediately. You can take your time to process what's really going on within you, whether it's something from your past or a challenge you're facing in the present. Through this process of reflection, clarity begins to emerge. Clarity is about seeing things for what they truly are, without the cloud of external influence or emotional noise. When we're constantly surrounded by others, our thoughts and decisions are often influenced by their opinions and expectations. But in solitude, there's no one else's voice in your head, only your own. And that's when you begin to see things clearly. Clarity doesn't just help you understand where you've been, it helps you chart a course for where you're going. It allows you to sift through the chaos of life and focus on what truly matters. What are your priorities? What's your purpose? What do you want to achieve? These are questions that can often get lost in the busyness of everyday life, but when you're alone, you can sit with them. You can take the time to think deeply about what really drives you, what truly makes you happy, and where you want to be in the future. This clarity can be life-changing. It helps you align your actions with your values and your goals. When you have clarity, you make decisions with purpose and confidence because you're no longer acting on impulse or outside pressure. You're acting based on a deep understanding of yourself and your path. Solitude also provides clarity in relationships. In the quiet moments of reflection, you can evaluate the people in your life with a clear mind. Are they supporting you? Are they helping you grow? Or are they holding you back? When you're always in the midst of social interactions, it can be hard to see these dynamics for what they are. But solitude allows you to step back and assess the relationships that matter most to you. Reflection and clarity are interconnected. The more you reflect, the clearer things become. You gain insight not only into your own behavior, but also into the world around you. Solitude gives you the time to step out of the whirlwind of life and really see things for what they are without judgment, without bias, just truth. And once you have that clarity, you're better equipped to make decisions, to set goals, and to move forward with confidence and purpose. Personal growth is one of the most profound outcomes of spending time alone. In today's world, we're often surrounded by distractions, constant social interactions, the demands of work, and the endless stream of information from our digital devices. But it's in solitude, away from these distractions, that we can truly begin to grow. Solitude creates the necessary space for self-discovery, self-improvement, and transformation. When you are alone, you are forced to confront yourself in a way that's impossible when you're always surrounded by others. You begin to see yourself more clearly, your strengths, your weaknesses, your habits, and your patterns of thought. This kind of self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. It allows you to recognize areas where you need to improve and to celebrate the parts of yourself that you might have been overlooking. In solitude, you're not performing for anyone else. There's no need to put on a mask or live up to anyone's expectations. You can be completely honest with yourself. And that honesty is essential for growth. It's easy to get caught up in other people's opinions of us, to mold ourselves to fit in with societal norms or expectations. But when you're alone, none of that matters. You can reflect on who you really are, what you really want, and where you want to go. Solitude also provides the opportunity to focus on your goals and ambitions without outside distractions. It's easy to get sidetracked when you're constantly engaged with the world, when your energy is split between a million different tasks, social obligations, and responsibilities. But when you step into solitude, you can direct all of your energy towards self-improvement. You have the space to reflect on your goals, to break them down, and to create a plan to achieve them. Personal growth requires focus, and solitude gives you the time and space to do just that. In this time alone, you have the chance to develop skills, to learn, and to grow in ways that might not be possible in a busy, interconnected environment. Whether it's learning a new craft, practicing a language, developing a meditation routine, or just becoming more comfortable with yourself, solitude allows you to make significant strides in self-development. This is because solitude eliminates the need for validation from others. You can pursue what interests you, what excites you, without worrying about how it will be perceived. Moreover, solitude fosters emotional growth. It's a space where you can process your emotions in a healthy way, rather than pushing them aside or burying them under social interactions or work. When you're alone, you have time to sit with your emotions, understand them, and work through them. This emotional intelligence is a critical part of personal growth. You begin to recognize patterns in how you react to certain situations, what triggers your emotions, and how you can respond more effectively. By developing this kind of emotional awareness, you become better equipped to handle the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience. Solitude also helps you build mental toughness. Being alone requires you to be comfortable with your own company, to face your own thoughts, and to rely on your own inner strength. This can be uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to always having others around to fill the silence or distract you from your thoughts. But over time, solitude strengthens your mental resilience. You learn to trust yourself, to sit with discomfort, and to navigate your own mind. This mental toughness is a critical aspect of personal growth. It's what allows you to face challenges head on and come out stronger on the other side. Finally, solitude allows for spiritual growth. For many, being alone provides the time and space to connect with something greater than themselves. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, or quiet contemplation, solitude offers a path to deeper self-understanding and a greater sense of purpose. This spiritual dimension of personal growth helps you align your actions with your values, find meaning in life's challenges, and approach the world with a sense of peace and purpose. In the end, personal growth is about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about constantly learning, improving, and evolving. Solitude accelerates this process by providing you with the time and space to focus inward, to reflect on who you are, and to work on becoming who you want to be. It strips away the external noise and allows you to listen to your inner voice, guiding you toward deeper understanding and meaningful change. Personal growth may not always be easy, but solitude creates the environment where it can truly flourish. In the stillness of being alone, you gain the strength, insight, and self-awareness needed to transform into the person you were always meant to be. Independence is one of the most significant outcomes of spending time alone. In solitude, you discover the ability to rely on yourself, both mentally and emotionally. This self-reliance is essential for building true independence, the kind that allows you to navigate life with confidence, resilience, and a sense of personal freedom. When you spend time alone, you learn to trust your own judgment. Often, when we're constantly surrounded by others, we depend on their opinions and feedback to validate our decisions. We might second-guess ourselves, wondering what someone else would think or how they would react. But solitude eliminates that outside influence. In the quiet moments of being alone, you're the only one who can make the decisions, and that forces you to listen to your inner voice. Over time, you develop a deeper sense of trust in your instincts, realizing that you are fully capable of making choices and charting your own path. This kind of independence is empowering. You stop waiting for approval from others and start moving forward with confidence in your own abilities. You recognize that, while others can offer advice or guidance, only you truly know what's best for you. In solitude, you begin to take ownership of your life in a way that's impossible when you're constantly seeking external validation. That ownership is the foundation of independence because it shifts the responsibility for your life back where it belongs into your hands. Solitude also teaches you to be comfortable in your own company, which is a critical aspect of independence. Many people fear being alone because it forces them to confront their thoughts and emotions without the distraction of other people. But when you learn to be at peace with yourself, you realize that you don't need anyone else to feel fulfilled or complete. You start to understand that your happiness, your well-being, and your sense of purpose come from within, not from external sources. This realization is powerful because it means that your emotional state is no longer dependent on others. You can find joy, peace, and contentment on your own, and that's true independence. In solitude, you also gain a clearer understanding of your own values and priorities. When you're always surrounded by people, It's easy to get caught up in what they want, what they value, or what society tells you is important. But when you're alone, you have the opportunity to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your goals? What do you believe in? What kind of life do you want to lead? Independence comes from this clarity because once you know what you stand for, you're less likely to be swayed by external pressures. You start to make decisions based on your own values, not because you're trying to please others or fit into a mold. This self-knowledge is crucial because it forms the backbone of personal independence. It helps you establish boundaries in relationships, pursue your goals with purpose, and live authentically. You're no longer living according to someone else's script, you're writing your own. And that's the essence of independence, the freedom to live life on your own terms. Additionally, independence doesn't mean you have to be completely isolated from others. In fact, learning to be alone makes your relationships stronger. When you're emotionally independent, you bring your whole self to relationships rather than relying on them to fulfill you. You're not dependent on others for your happiness or self-worth, which means your connections with people are based on mutual respect and love, not neediness or insecurity. This creates healthier, more balanced relationships where both people are free to grow and support each other without losing themselves in the process. Finally, independence gives you the courage to take risks and step out of your comfort zone. When you trust yourself and know that you can rely on your own strength, you're more willing to take on new challenges, whether that's pursuing a new career, moving to a new place, or starting a new project. Solitude builds this courage because in those moments of quiet reflection, you come to realize that you don't need the safety net of other people's approval. You have everything you need within you to succeed. In conclusion, solitude is a powerful catalyst for independence. It teaches you to trust your own instincts, to be comfortable in your own company, and to take responsibility for your life. Through solitude, you learn that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way without needing constant validation or support from others. This sense of self-reliance is the foundation of true independence, giving you the freedom to live authentically, pursue your dreams, and face the world with confidence and strength. Creative power is one of the most transformative aspects of solitude. In the quiet space of being alone, free from distractions and external influences, creativity thrives. It's in these moments of solitude that some of the greatest ideas, inventions, art, and breakthroughs have been born. The absence of external noise allows your mind to wander, to explore new thoughts, and to engage with your imagination in a way that's often stifled in the busy, interconnected world. When you're alone, you're not constrained by the expectations of others. There's no one to judge your ideas, no one to critique or shape your thoughts before they've fully developed. You have the freedom to think outside the box, to take risks with your creativity, and to explore new possibilities without fear of immediate rejection or failure. This kind of creative freedom is essential for innovation, as it gives you the mental space to experiment and play with new concepts. In solitude, you can also dive deeply into your thoughts without interruption. Creative thinking often requires uninterrupted time, where ideas can develop slowly and fully. When you're constantly interacting with others or multitasking, it's difficult to find that kind of focus. Solitude creates an environment where your mind can fully engage with a problem, an idea, or a piece of art. It allows you to enter a state of flow where time seems to disappear and you're completely immersed in the creative process. This deep focus often leads to breakthroughs and insights that wouldn't have been possible in a more chaotic environment. Solitude also fosters introspection, which is a key driver of creativity. In moments of quiet, you're able to reflect on your experiences, emotions, and thoughts in a more meaningful way. This self-reflection often sparks new ideas or inspires you to approach a problem from a different angle. When you allow yourself to explore your inner world, you tap into a well of creativity that's deeply personal and authentic. Some of the most creative works, whether in art, literature, music, or science, have emerged from individuals who spent significant time alone, reflecting on their experiences and translating those reflections into something powerful. Additionally, solitude enhances creativity by removing external distractions and noise. When you're constantly bombarded by emails, social media notifications, and the demands of daily life, it's hard to focus on creative projects. Your mind is too scattered, too pulled in different directions to settle into the creative process. But in solitude, those distractions fall away, allowing you to concentrate fully on your work. This focused attention is essential for creative thinking, as it allows you to connect ideas in new ways and explore concepts more deeply. Creativity also thrives on exploration, and solitude provides the time and space to explore new ideas without interruption. Whether you're writing, painting, composing music, or solving a complex problem, being alone gives you the freedom to experiment. You can try different approaches, make mistakes, and learn from them without the pressure of an audience. This trial and error process is essential for creativity because it allows you to push the boundaries of what's possible, to take risks that might not feel safe in a more social or judgmental environment. Moreover, solitude encourages daydreaming, which is often the source of some of the most innovative ideas. When your mind isn't occupied with constant tasks or interactions, it has the freedom to wander. You may find yourself thinking about things in new ways, making connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, or imagining possibilities you hadn't considered before. Daydreaming is often dismissed as unproductive, but in reality, it's a key part of the creative process. It's in these moments of mental wandering that your subconscious mind often does its best work, finding solutions or ideas that your conscious mind may not have been able to see. Solitude also provides the opportunity to draw inspiration from within. When you're alone, you're more likely to listen to your own voice rather than the voices of others. You're not constantly comparing yourself to others or measuring your creativity against external standards. Instead, you're able to tap into your own unique perspective and create something that's deeply personal and original. This internal focus leads to more authentic creative expression, as you're no longer trying to fit into a mold or meet someone else's expectations. Furthermore, solitude can serve as a form of creative rejuvenation. When you're constantly interacting with the world, your mind can become overstimulated and fatigued. Creative energy can feel drained when you're always on responding to external stimuli. Solitude gives you the chance to recharge that energy. In the quiet, your mind can rest, reflect, and refuel. This mental and emotional reset is crucial for creativity because it allows you to return to your work with fresh eyes and a renewed sense of inspiration. Lastly, solitude strengthens your creative problem-solving skills. Without others to lean on or distract you, you're forced to rely on your own ingenuity to solve problems. This fosters a kind of creative resilience as you learn to think critically and independently. You become more resourceful, able to tackle challenges in new and innovative ways because you've trained your mind to work through problems without immediate external input. In conclusion, solitude is a powerful catalyst for creativity. It provides the mental space for deep thinking, the freedom to explore ideas without judgment, and the time to focus on creative projects without distractions. In solitude, you can reflect on your experiences, tap into your imagination, and find inspiration from within. It's in these quiet moments that true creative power is unleashed, allowing you to bring your most authentic and innovative ideas to life. Solitude doesn't stifle creativity, it nurtures it, offering the freedom, focus, and clarity needed to fully engage with the creative process. When you spend time alone, you gain the freedom to deeply understand your values, beliefs, and priorities. This process of self-discovery is often difficult to achieve when you're constantly surrounded by other people and external influences. The opinions of friends, family, co-workers, and even societal norms can subtly shape how you think and feel, leading you to make decisions based on expectations rather than your true desires. For example, when you're always busy with social obligations or the demands of work, it's easy to lose sight of what truly brings you happiness or purpose. You may find yourself making decisions to please others or to fit into a particular role, but those choices might not actually reflect your deepest values. Solitude gives you the opportunity to ask yourself the tough questions: what do I really want? Why am I pursuing this goal? Does this align with my true beliefs? These are questions that often require introspection and time alone to answer. Moreover, solitude helps you distinguish between external goals, those shaped by society, culture, or peer pressure, and internal goals, which come from your personal desires and passions. For instance, you might feel pressure to follow a certain career path or lifestyle because it's what others expect. But in solitude, you can reflect on whether that path aligns with who you really are. If it doesn't, solitude gives you the space to redefine your priorities based on what truly matters to you. By gaining this clarity about your values, you become more independent in your decision-making. You no longer rely on external validation or approval to guide your actions. Instead, you make choices based on a deep understanding of yourself, which leads to more authentic and fulfilling decisions. This internal alignment between your values and actions strengthens your sense of self and boosts your confidence. You're able to move through life with a clearer purpose, knowing that your choices are rooted in who you truly are, not in what others expect from you. In addition, when you know your values, you're better equipped to set boundaries in your relationships and your career. You become more discerning about how you spend your time and energy, prioritizing the things that align with your core beliefs. This sense of clarity gives you the confidence to say no to distractions or obligations that don't serve your higher purpose and to focus on what's truly meaningful to you. Ultimately, solitude offers a powerful opportunity for self-discovery and reflection. It helps you strip away the layers of external expectations and tune into your authentic self. Through this process, you gain a clearer understanding of your values and priorities, which empowers you to live a more purposeful and independent life. Independence and self-reliance are essential qualities that solitude helps develop. Spending time alone forces you to confront your own thoughts, emotions, and challenges without relying on others for constant support or validation. This process fosters a deep sense of self-sufficiency, where you learn to trust your own judgment and abilities. When you're alone, you have no choice but to figure things out for yourself, whether it's solving a problem, making a decision, or managing your emotions. Over time, this builds a strong foundation of independence that can be applied to all areas of your life. In a world where we often seek out others for advice, reassurance, or companionship, solitude can feel uncomfortable at first. Many people feel uneasy being by themselves because they're used to relying on external input to navigate life. But solitude teaches you that you don't need constant validation from others to make the right decisions. Instead, you begin to trust your instincts and rely on your inner wisdom. As you grow more comfortable with being alone, you develop the confidence to handle challenges and uncertainties on your own. This kind of self-reliance is empowering because it gives you the freedom to make choices based on your own values and desires rather than being influenced by others. In solitude, there's no one to tell you what to do, how to think, or how to feel. You're free to explore your thoughts and emotions without judgment, which leads to a clearer understanding of who you are and what you want from life. This clarity allows you to make decisions that are truly your own, rather than ones shaped by societal expectations or the opinions of those around you. Moreover, solitude teaches you how to problem solve independently. Without others to lean on for immediate solutions, you learn to think critically and resourcefully. Whether it's a personal challenge, a creative project, or a difficult decision, being alone forces you to tap into your own knowledge and abilities to find answers. This strengthens your problem-solving skills and boosts your confidence in handling future challenges. You become more resilient, knowing that you can rely on yourself to overcome obstacles without needing constant external input. Emotional independence is another key benefit of spending time alone. When you're constantly surrounded by people, it's easy to rely on them for emotional support or to distract yourself from uncomfortable feelings. However, solitude encourages you to sit with your emotions and process them on your own. This emotional self-reliance helps you build a stronger relationship with yourself, where you can manage your feelings without always turning to others for comfort or validation. Over time, you become more emotionally resilient, better equipped to handle stress, anxiety, or sadness without feeling dependent on external sources of support. Independence doesn't mean isolation or cutting yourself off from others. In fact, developing independence through solitude can strengthen your relationships. When you're emotionally self-reliant, you bring a more balanced and confident version of yourself into your interactions with others. You're no longer looking for others to fulfill your emotional needs or define your worth, which leads to healthier, more authentic connections. You're able to give and receive in relationships without feeling dependent on others for your sense of identity or happiness. Furthermore, solitude fosters independence by allowing you to set your own goals and pursue them with determination. When you spend time alone, you have the opportunity to reflect on your aspirations and develop a plan to achieve them, free from outside distractions or influence. This self-directed approach to goal setting empowers you to take charge of your own life. You become the driving force behind your success, relying on your own discipline, creativity, and motivation to reach your objectives. Independence through solitude also cultivates a greater sense of self-worth. As you learn to rely on yourself, you begin to recognize your own capabilities and strengths. You realize that you are fully capable of handling life's challenges, and this realization boosts your self-esteem. You no longer feel the need to depend on others for approval or validation because you know that you can stand on your own. This sense of self-worth is crucial for living a fulfilling life, as it allows you to approach challenges with confidence and pursue your passions without fear of failure or rejection. In the end, solitude is a powerful tool for developing independence. It forces you to rely on yourself emotionally, mentally, and practically, which builds resilience, confidence, and self-sufficiency. By spending time alone, you learn to trust your own judgment, solve problems independently, and manage your emotions without relying on others. This independence allows you to live a more authentic, empowered life, where you are in control of your decisions and actions, guided by your own values and desires rather than external pressures. Solitude provides a unique opportunity for self-exploration, enabling you to connect deeply with your inner self and discover aspects of your personality, emotions, and desires that might remain hidden in the presence of others. This kind of introspection is crucial for personal growth and self-awareness, as it allows you to explore your thoughts, feelings, and motivations on a deeper level. When you're constantly surrounded by people, there's often little time or space to reflect on who you are at your core. Solitude, however, strips away the distractions and external influences, giving you the clarity to focus inward. In these moments of quiet reflection, you can ask yourself important questions about your life, your values, and your goals. What drives you? What makes you happy? What are your fears and insecurities? These are questions that often go unanswered when you're distracted by the noise of daily life. Solitude offers the perfect environment for this kind of self-questioning, as it allows you to focus on yourself without the need to perform or present a certain version of yourself to others. You can be completely honest and authentic, free from judgment or pressure. One of the greatest benefits of this self-exploration is the opportunity to better understand your strengths and weaknesses. In solitude, you have the space to reflect on your past experiences, analyzing what you've done well and where you've struggled. This introspection helps you gain insight into the patterns in your life, such as how you react to certain situations, how you handle stress, and how you relate to others. By identifying these patterns, you can work on improving your weaknesses and building on your strengths. This kind of self-awareness is essential for personal development because it allows you to make more informed decisions about how to move forward in life. Additionally, solitude allows you to reconnect with your true passions and interests. In the hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to get caught up in responsibilities, obligations, and the expectations of others. You may find yourself pursuing goals or activities that don't truly resonate with you, simply because they align with what's expected of you. However, in solitude, you have the freedom to explore your own interests without any external pressure. You can rediscover what excites you, what brings you joy, and what makes you feel most alive. This self-discovery is crucial for living an authentic life, as it helps you align your actions with your true passions and values. Solitude also strengthens your relationship with yourself. In a world that often prioritizes external connections and relationships with others, it's easy to neglect the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. Spending time alone allows you to nurture that relationship, getting to know yourself on a deeper level and learning to appreciate your own company. This self-compassion is essential for overall well-being because it helps you become more self-sufficient and less reliant on others for validation or fulfillment. When you're comfortable being alone, you're more likely to make decisions based on what's right for you, rather than what others expect or want from you. In conclusion, solitude is a powerful tool for self-exploration and personal growth. It allows you to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and experiences, gaining valuable insights into who you are and what you want from life. By fostering self-awareness, creativity, emotional clarity, and mental resilience, solitude helps you become more in tune with yourself and your true desires. This deeper understanding of yourself empowers you to live a more authentic and fulfilling life, guided by your own values, passions, and inner wisdom. Solitude often creates a space for deep spiritual connection, allowing you to engage with the spiritual or transcendent aspects of life in ways that are harder to access amid the distractions of daily life. Many spiritual traditions emphasize the importance of solitude for fostering a deeper connection with the divine, the universe, or your inner self. When you're alone, you have the opportunity to quiet your mind, reflect on life's larger questions, and tap into a sense of meaning or purpose that goes beyond the immediate concerns of the material world. In solitude, you can reflect on your place in the universe and contemplate existential questions. Who am I? What is my purpose? What is the meaning of life? These are questions that often arise when the external noise of the world fades, and you have the mental space to ponder deeply. This kind of introspection often leads to spiritual growth, as it helps you connect with your inner self and the larger forces that shape your existence. Whether you believe in a higher power, nature, or the interconnectedness of all things, solitude allows you to explore these beliefs without interruption or influence. One of the most profound spiritual benefits of solitude is the opportunity to cultivate mindfulness and presence. When you're alone, you can focus more fully on the present moment, paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without distraction. This practice of mindfulness often leads to a heightened sense of awareness and connection with the world around you. You may begin to notice the beauty in simple things, a bird's song, the rustling of leaves, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. These small moments of presence can foster a deep sense of gratitude and wonder, which are often considered spiritual experiences in their own right. Solitude also allows for prayer, meditation, or other spiritual practices to flourish. Many people find that in moments of solitude, they can engage in these practices more deeply and meaningfully than when they are surrounded by others. Whether you're sitting in silent meditation, reciting a prayer, or reflecting on sacred texts, solitude creates the perfect environment for focusing your mind and heart on spiritual matters. This uninterrupted time helps you to quiet the constant chatter of the mind and enter into a state of inner stillness, where spiritual insights and connection can arise. Moreover, solitude encourages self-reflection, which is a key component of spiritual growth. It allows you to examine your life, your actions, and your choices in the light of your spiritual beliefs or values. In solitude, you can assess whether you are living in alignment with your higher purpose, whether you are treating others with kindness and compassion, and whether you are contributing to the greater good. This kind of self-examination is often difficult to achieve in the midst of a busy, socially driven life, but solitude offers the space for this kind of deep reflection. By regularly taking time alone, you can engage in a spiritual practice of self-assessment that leads to growth and transformation. Another important aspect of solitude's spiritual power is that it fosters a sense of oneness with the universe or a higher power. When you spend time alone, particularly in nature, you may begin to feel a profound connection with the world around you. Many people report that in moments of solitude, whether walking through a forest, sitting by the ocean, or simply being in a quiet room, they feel a deep sense of interconnectedness with all living things. This feeling of oneness, often described as a spiritual experience, can bring a sense of peace and contentment, as it reminds you that you are a part of something much larger than yourself. Solitude can also help you develop a deeper sense of faith or trust in the universe. When you are alone, particularly during challenging times, you may find yourself relying more on your spiritual beliefs for comfort and guidance. This process strengthens your faith, as it encourages you to trust that there is a larger plan or purpose at work, even if you cannot see it in the moment. By spending time in solitude and reflecting on your spiritual beliefs, you may develop a stronger sense of trust in the unfolding of life and a greater ability to surrender to the unknown. In conclusion, solitude provides a powerful gateway to spiritual connection and growth. By giving you the time and space to reflect on your beliefs, engage in spiritual practices, and connect with the world around you, solitude fosters a deeper sense of meaning, purpose, and inner peace. Whether you use solitude for meditation, prayer, self-reflection, or simply to connect with nature, it offers the perfect environment for spiritual transformation. Through solitude, you can cultivate a stronger relationship with the divine, the universe, or your inner self, leading to a more spiritually fulfilling life. Solitude provides a powerful environment for achieving balance and fostering healing, both emotionally and mentally. In the fast-paced, interconnected world we live in, it's easy to get swept up in the constant demands of life, whether it's work, relationships, or social obligations. This constant busyness often leads to stress, burnout, and emotional exhaustion. Taking time for solitude allows you to step back from the external chaos and reconnect with your inner self, creating a space for balance to be restored and healing to take place. One of the most significant benefits of solitude is the opportunity it offers to rebalance your energy. When you're always surrounded by people, obligations, or digital distractions, it can drain your mental and emotional resources. You may find yourself feeling overstimulated, anxious, or simply worn out. Solitude provides a much-needed break from these external pressures, giving you the space to recharge and reset. It allows you to quiet your mind, calm your emotions, and center yourself. This process of recentering helps restore the balance between your inner world and the outer world, allowing you to approach life with a clearer, more focused mind. Solitude is also essential for emotional healing. Life can bring many challenges such as grief, disappointment, or emotional pain, and it's often difficult to fully process these experiences when you're constantly surrounded by others. Solitude gives you the space to sit with your emotions, rather than avoiding or suppressing them. When you're alone, you have the freedom to fully feel and explore your emotions without judgment or distraction. This kind of emotional introspection is necessary for healing because it allows you to acknowledge your pain, work through it, and eventually let it go. For example, if you've experienced a loss or heartbreak, solitude provides a quiet environment needed to grieve fully and process the emotions that come with it. In social settings, you might feel the need to put on a brave face or distract yourself from the pain, but solitude offers a safe space to confront these feelings head on. By allowing yourself to experience the full range of emotions, whether it's sadness, anger, or confusion, you give yourself the opportunity to heal emotionally. Over time, this process of emotional release in solitude leads to a deeper sense of peace and emotional resilience. Spending time alone also allows you to reflect on your life and regain perspective, which is crucial for mental balance. When you're caught up in the hustle of daily life, it's easy to lose sight of what really matters. You may find yourself focused on immediate problems or concerns without taking the time to consider the bigger picture. Solitude gives you the opportunity to step back and gain perspective on your life as a whole. It allows you to think about your priorities, your goals, and your overall sense of well-being. This kind of reflection helps you realign your actions and choices with your true values, leading to a greater sense of mental clarity and balance. Finally, solitude encourages self-compassion and self-love, which are essential for emotional and mental healing. In solitude, you have the opportunity to be kind and gentle with yourself, to acknowledge your struggles without judgment, and to offer yourself the same care and compassion you would offer to a loved one. This practice of self-compassion helps you heal from negative self-talk or self-criticism, allowing you to embrace yourself fully, flaws and all. Over time, this leads to greater emotional resilience and a more balanced, healthy relationship with yourself. In conclusion, solitude is a powerful tool for achieving balance and fostering healing on multiple levels emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. By creating the space to step back from the external pressures of life, solitude allows you to recharge, reflect, and heal. It helps restore balance by giving you the time and quiet needed to process emotions, gain mental clarity, reconnect with your body, and find peace in your spiritual beliefs. Through solitude, you can achieve a deeper sense of inner harmony and well-being, empowering you to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and grace.